Hello everybody, Jason Meyer here with my, what did we decide you were? A,
Something.
a VP CEO partner? Isabella, running the show today. So we're doing kind of a camera test, and at the same time I thought I'd record some material for Monday, if we need it. If we need it. So here we go. I'm going to get into and start with my darks. And I want to start with a dark accent that I may or may not use. So that's as dark as any of my paint will go right there. But I don't really want it cold. So warm that up just a little bit. Add just a touch of red. Okay, so for us, this is going to be our absolute dark right here. Okay, and then from there, I want to walk off in a warm way through my burnt umber, and then in a cool way with my raw umber. So let's start with warm first. So now that burnt umber can just emerge from our black. And then as it goes on its merry little way, so we're kind of thinking about the origin of color, where it's coming from, where it's going. And a lot of times I like to play a little bit before I get started, just to warm up. Just to warm up. And get my mind and my eyes working together. So that could come from even a warmer right, and notice that all that we're doing right here is without white. Right, so we've got all of this before we touch white. Is this feeling like a natural progression to you? Right, like there's no white in that. That's just yellow ochre. Okay, so we can come out warm like that. Of course, we can push it more yellow or, I mean, orange or red if we want to. But that seems like a nice little run there for a base for us. So now we talked about coming out in a cooler way. More like Fonzie. Do you even know who Fonzie is, Izzy?
Heard of him.
Oh. Alright. Some things hit harder than others. And realizing that Izzy's heard of Fonzie. That hit hard. Oof. Oof. Alright. So now we'll come down through raw umber. And if I want to keep that greenish, right, again, no white in this at this point. Don't worry, white will get its turn. Everybody will get their turn to bat. You see how we're getting all these really, really rich, beautiful tones? And we've got a warm side, a cool side, a Fonzie side. Fonzie was cool.
I could tell.
You could tell?
The way you said his name.
That name used to evoke coolness. And now it's just a distant echo, you say. A distant echo. Alright, we'll keep moving. We'll keep moving. Okay, and the point is not to go on with it forever with this stuff. But just to kind of get you in the mode of painting, rather than jumping in and start working on things before you're even warmed up. And now, look at what a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful we've got to start with. Some beautiful darks there. What did we talk about? Did we talk about a beautiful rich gray green undertone for the water, right? We wanted that a little bit darker. Yeah, not darker than this, but darker than the sky, right? So more of a rich tone. So since it is a gray, I'm going to start with gray. And I'm going to get the gray to the right value. That I think I want to put as my water. Okay. We talked about it being green-gray. I think we might be onto something right there. Again, it's kind of a nothingness color, which is exactly what we want. That way, any orange we have doesn't have to be a screaming orange. Even these darker, richer oranges will sit on that really nicely and shine. How's it going back there, Izzy?
Good,
We having some
people watching.
some interesting shots you're doing there?
Yep.
Yep. Is anybody cheering you on?
Nope.
Nobody's cheering Izzy on?
I like it. I like it.
Okay, okay. Feel free to make suggestions to her too. She loves suggestions.
No.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. All right, so we got some of that gray for the water. Then, what should be our kind of infinity color that this is all going to? Right? It's got to be kind of a warm gray, doesn't it? Since it's a warm sunset. So let's go back to our gray, which is pretty simple, right? Black and white. And I'm not going to mind these because we do want it to be a warm gray. So we can just grab this warm and we'll set it right here. And then what I want to pay attention to now is the value. Right? What's the value of that horizon that everything's heading towards? Sometimes I call it the infinity horizon, the infinity color. The color of all the way back there, forever and ever and ever and ever. And then as all of our colors move back toward that point, they take on a little bit of that color. How's the overhead shot of this zoomed in? Are you doing any zooming there?
Yes, it is zoomed in, but I've not done the overhead shot. There we go.
All right, so that seems pretty light to me. Maybe too light. I do want to warm this up a bit. So let's just warm and dark, dark and warm. All right, does that seem like a sunrise gray there to you?
Yep. Tom is here. Mom is here. We have one other person that I can't see.
All right. Thanks, Tom. Izzy's doing a good job. How's the Tascadero today? It's a little warm down here. Warm but windy. Breezy, at least in our side of town. Okay, again, I'm thinking of, and we never know till we get down to business warm. I want a bit of this red in there too. There we go. There we go. It's just kind of feeling too clean and crisp to me to be a dirty horizon gray infinity color. You know what I mean? Just not the right decor for the situation. Okay, so we've got some beautiful darks here to choose from. We've got a low end of gray, say our ocean, our water. We have in high end gray, say kind of our infinity color. And so what are we missing? Well, we're missing some of our color and our light, aren't we? We could also mix up, because we want this color down here to be a little darker, richer too. Maybe this is a good time to mix that up. Good time to mix that up. So let's get all this stuff with white away from the stuff with no white. right, so what's that deep, beautiful ocean color we want there? Warm sunrise beginning to reflect off the water. So orange is about bright as we can get. But look, that's way too much for there, isn't it? Okay. Maybe we don't need so much of that. How does that? Well, better, but still, that's pretty dang bright, huh? So look, we can still stay dark, not have any white in here. And still be bright enough to just leap off of that green-gray. Right, so basically we're in these three colors right here: cad orange, cad red, burnt umber. Okay. So those all seem like some pretty good piles. Where we gotta go from here, Isabella?
Somewhere.
Where we gotta go from here? Do we have a landscape? We do. I think.
Hmm?
I'm gonna make you magic.
It's so tiny. I can do it.
You know how to make it bigger? You can just do it with scrolling your finger. And see if you can find a place, maybe the lower corner over there, to set it out of the way. Just don't hit the finish button. All right, do we need to find the color of the sun or the value of the sun? I like all this warm we have right here. So now we've gotten into some white, haven't we? Wait a minute, we're using that. That's not available. Sorry. But yeah, let's take that, let's just take a little bit of it. We don't need very much. Take a little bit of that. Here comes the light. Ooh, changes everything.
Claudia's here.
Hey, Claudia. We got Izzy at the controls today, running the show. Our little producer, YouTube producer extraordinaire. All right, that's feeling like a pretty good sun color to me right there. Oops, bless you.
Sorry.
Did I just ruin my palette knife? No, that was a close call.
What did you do?
I just jammed it into that. I'm not used to that ledge being there.
Oh.
All right, so we got our sun. Where are we going? Then our color. Our brightest color is that, or we're going to make the brightest color, other than orange, of course, that real light green sky. So real light means a good deal of white, right? Should we bend it? Where should we go? Well, we're down here, so we're going to stay down here. Now, I don't think the sky's going to be quite that bright. That doesn't look quite right to me. And it also seems a little light, doesn't it? Well, let's keep it in the green. Let's throw some of that raw umber in there. And I think a sky somewhere in that neighborhood is going to feel a lot better. And again, these are our brightest here. It's going to be easy to gray these off if we need to. And then, of course, our white, the white of the clouds will show up just fine off of those. So we have dark warms, some dark greens, some grays, some warms for the ocean, kind of infinity colors in the sky. We'll have some clouds in between there. Some of those warm colors on the ocean reflecting the sky with no white in them. This is pure yellow ochre that was there from earlier color mixing, messing around. This is black from earlier. This is a gray from messing around earlier. All right, guys, is Izzy paying attention? Are you guys keeping her busy? Hmm? All right. Let's see. How does that look there? How does that look? That looks pretty good. Well, should we see how some of this works on the canvas? So if you want to pull out we'll think about trying some of this stuff out. There we go. What's our run time? So go over the screen.
We are at 21 minutes.
21 minutes. Excellent. Okay. I was so inspired by some of the abstract work without the little sailboat or fisherman rowing out, rowman. I may take him out today. I may take him out. We'll see. We will see. So we want this to be, there's ocean, there's sky. So there's going to be much more ocean. I'd like to maybe drop the ocean down to here too, so it's even more dominant. Very dominant ocean from here to here. Some rocks and land here. We've got our first set of hills. Back set of hills. We're going to have some fog running through there. Kind of fog and grayness on this side. Yeah, I don't know if I'd have done that, Nat, but let's try that. A little grayness here, and then let the color and stuff kind of shoot out this way a little bit. Let's see how that works. Let's see what happens. Right, and then we got our sun, our clouds, and since I don't think those are going to be that bright back there, so I'm just going to go ahead and scrape that texture off. All right, enough chit chat. Let's go. Let's go. We're going to work dark to light, so I want to start down here on my darks. I think right here will be good. Okay. So just something up here to say up front dark, right, that we can send back into space. Some rocks on the shore. Whoops, sneaking up there again. And so just to cut those down to keep me from sneaking up there, I'm going to take a different brush because I want to jump lighter and cut in with that dark of the of the gray ocean there. And what I'll do is this gray is a little, probably too much here. Right, that's too strong. So what I'm going to do is just take it to the edge of this, and there we go. Get them a little bit closer. Right, and that's exactly what I want. Really nice and quiet. Shh. The baby's sleeping. Shh. Okay, so that gives me lots of room to come up. I don't want to try to box myself in at first. Right? What I want to try to do is to make those movements that are going to be quiet and unseen. So then I can lay the movements of, say, the orange, which is going to make a big deal, on top of it. And then that unseen stuff just lays there underneath, doing what it needs to do. So again, just setting all this up for the gray. I do think I want to get rid of that guy. I don't know, as he gets closer there, he might actually work. Just maybe not so prominent. We'll see. So there's less on the brush now. So less is coming off. But now a little more unified, and now where are we going? We're going to the sky, with no question about it. And that's what we want as quickly as we can, is to get the viewer where we'd like them to go. Okay, so I'm going to proceed down here, and what I'm going to do here is come over to the green, because I want to let go a little bit of that red, that dark. I don't want to be quite that hard. And so just by going cooler, slightly lighter, just slightly. Like the hair of the dog, just slightly. Right, and see, they kind of merge together. That's okay, because it's real easy to pull things back apart. But right now, if I can get these subtle little changes and take all that activity out of here, our sky is going to get more and more powerful. And I am shooting a little bit on the dark side, because light will come in on top of this, right? We don't want to go darker later. We want to go lighter later. So we're going to start with our darker point. Excellent. What did Claudia say, Izzy?
She said, I'm loving the new idea. No fisherman. Smiley face.
Oh, nice. Izzy's catching up on some of her Netflix when she produces the thing, so you guys should poke her a little bit, make sure she's paying attention.
Oh no, I did. Tom asked for a close with the painting, and someone said something else, but I forgot what I said.
Somebody what?
Said something else, but I forgot what I replied.
Oh, okay.
Oh, someone said doing a great job, and I said thank you.
Nice. Nice, nice. All right. You know, and another way that we could separate this is that light's coming over there. Let's try that. Let's try that. Could we act like just the start of that sun's going to be kissing these things a little bit? I don't know. Can we? Can we? Can they even see that, Izzy? Can they see that there? It's kind of hard to see, isn't it?
It's kind of hard. I mean, I can
Okay.
go all the way in,
No, I was just wondering if there's enough separation. It's showing up more on the painting than it is in the video. All right, well, let's keep going. So I don't think we want quite that dark as we work out. But now that we've got our soft transition, right? And this time around, I don't even have to cover. I can let some of that stuff shine through if I want. Even some of the Roman can end up being like just a dark reflection or something. Okay. Again, this is kind of that gray under thing that I want to work on later. Work on top of. So if there's any like real bright things, I'm trying to take those off. I can let some of the right value shine through here and there. And that looks like a gorgeous base to me. And what I mean by base is that I'm able, again, just to lay some relatively dark. Can we see the palette here, maybe?
Oh, sorry.
Let's take this relatively dark orange, right? You see how dark that is? And when we put it on the painting, it'll and then we can go on inside that and build that into a nice little glow. Okay, rather than hit that high note immediately, let's prepare for the high note. Right? They don't start the song right off the bat like blowing you away. They build to it. Let's take that idea. If they can do it, we can do it, right? That's right. Okay. And as we move back, we're going to go, it's going to get a bit lighter grayer. Because again, we don't want this to be too heavy, but I just want some of those darks down there to hold that light when we get it in. We talked about making sure that canvas was covered. One of the other things is if there's brush strokes showing and stuff from earlier, I'll be taking that out. And now this is gonna, well, let's see here. Let's see, these are pretty small little things. Let's see if we get. So I'm planning on knocking that sun back quite a bit. Let's knock that sun back quite a bit. All right. A little bit of a glow. Now, even before we hit the sun, let's start. Get that little grayness around there. Offer that just a bit. All right, again, part of this is setting up for that beautiful green sky that we're going to have. All right, so now let's start heading that way a bit. So I need to make a decision. Do I want to go?
We're at the 35-minute mark, just FYI.
35-minute mark. Is it time for you to take a break or something, or?
No, just
Just saying? All right.
Trying to be
Thank
helpful.
you. You're very helpful. I love your help. I love your help. So thinking about the composition here a bit. You know, eventually we might go, but I may keep this as basically a cross here. Let's see how that cross composition works. All right, so away we go. Now we've made some decisions. That tells us what goes where. So we're going to start lightening up and heading towards our green a bit. We'll come back and hit the clouds and everything. Right now I'm almost building the stage that the whole thing's going to work on, right? We got to get that glow in there. Warm glow. Okay. So part of glow is that consistent change from darker to lighter. And we're going to release into the sky up here. And again, this is a little grayer, so what I'm doing is I'm hitting off the sides a little bit to gray them off so that the center is a bit more intense. Tricky, 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 huh? Tricky, tricky, tricky. Try to scroll down in the comments too when you get a section. Very nice. Okay, so we're going to keep going. So what would be the highest green that we're going to go to? And again, if possible, try to hold a little bit back just in case it doesn't work. This is going to be a flatter and a more even, and that'll make it brighter. Okay. So let's get a little bit of those white clouds in there. I'm going to try something. Let's see what happens. So there's none of that cobalt blue in yet. So I'm going to try to influence the white just the tiniest bit of the cobalt blue. Okay, and then let's just take that and send it towards infinity. Okay. All right. How are we doing? All right, so is it time to put a little glow in that water? Little glow in the water, right? So now that we have our finish in there, we can see, hope is we can see how far we can bring that water up. want the painting to be interesting, well then the paint's got to be interesting. Especially when you're where you're asking them to look. All right, and maybe we can put the sun in now. So I'm going to go back to my original kind of grayness that I had there, and I'm going to go back to the middle. Keep this going, keep it going. Okay. I want to walk out of that, showing that the eating away at the land there. See, we don't want a perfect V. There we go. Then we need to walk that off. Right? Isn't that what they say? Walk it off, kid. Walk it off. Okay. Where's that grayness go from there? Alright, we're starting to get a glow. We're starting to get a little glow. So let's see. Let us see then. Okay, let's see. I'm getting into painter mode. Losing the vocabulary. We got a little glow on the water now, starting to happen. How's it going, Iz, over there?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright. We got an informative, valuable, entertaining show happening? You keeping the people happy?
Uh-huh.
You dazzling in them with your camera work, with your attention to detail.
I don't know.
Don't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Is that light starting to hit the water a little bit? A little bit. Now it's also going to be reflecting some of that sky, won't it? So what's darker, richer of that sky? Maybe we'll put that through this section here, shall we? I'll get you on down the road a bit. I'm putting it everywhere. Decide where that green sky is reflecting. And of course you'll have a errant reflection or two. It is water. But you see, by going dark early, I'm able just to slowly walk this glow up a bit and adjust. It still feels pretty dark overall to me, but we're gonna work on it. We're gonna work on it. Let's see. So the question is, do I have to put any white to indicate light on these rocks? I'd like not to. Let's see. Let us see. And you know, that might sound passive, but it's more of I'm posing a question, and then I'm going to engage with the question to make sure that that is the case. Engage with my eyes visually. Okay, is that working how it should? All right. So, and all of a sudden these edges up here bother me. These internal edges. Soften that up. All right, so what kind of time we got going here? 49 minutes. All right, let's see what we can do. So I still feel the water's a bit dark here. So what I'm going to start doing is just adding a little lighter gray, or kind of bridging it. And see, rather than just redoing the whole thing, is just by expanding our light out from the center a little bit more at a little slower pace. Is that enough? Same thing Tom had said on his work, that he still needed to expand the light. That's what I'm doing here in the center. Just expanding the light. Since that's open to the sky, maybe we'll just let this run off over to the side. Yeah, not quite so dark back there. There's some fog rolling in still. Okay, so it's a little push and pull. So now some of these darks are feeling super heavy to me. Super heavy. They're bringing me down. They're harshing my mellow. So let's tend to those. Say, hey guys, just chill out a little bit. So I grabbed a pack of dark gray and I headed over to their apartment for a little while. Woo! And boy, I got there and I saw I was in no shape to help out. So I had to go back and get my head right. Let's show up and try again. Alright, we're a little closer now. A little closer. So this is in front of those other ones. So we want that a bit darker. And also we're going to go a bit larger with this one. And again, just to kind of hold you there for that sunset and for that sense of scale. Okay. Let's see, is our... So I still feel some measures are off here, right? And I'm wondering if I can't darken this and that not help a lot. So let's try that out a little bit. I still want it to stay relatively rich. I just want to bring it down a bit. Bring it down a bit. So let's see. How's that looking? Something like that. All right, guys. Let's see. What do we got going on there? Try to scroll down. Nothing? So did we go to that other shot at all today? The above shot, number
like
2 camera?
Once or twice.
Okay.
This was the better shot overall.
Okay. All right, guys. I think we're going to leave it there today for the test. We'll go back and see how that looked. You can let us know whether you thought this was worth it. Again, remember, we're working tiny right here. As we get back into regular sizes, I think the camera, everything will be a little bit better. All right. Until next time, guys. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.